Hi, and welcome to the NFL Fan Forum. My name is Art, aka the Sea Cow, and this is my sidekick John, aka the Cowlick.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the state of the Broncos and Seahawks going into Week 8. But first, our play of the day.
With six different receivers, and this time he lost one and it's picked off at the goal line. That's Buda Baker. Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does to save a touchdown.
First, let's talk about the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are 2-4 and coming off a tough loss to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a deflating defeat for the team. How did the team look to you in this game?
Bad. Very, very bad. This is Drew Lock's worst game for sure. We made too many mistakes. There were too many turnovers. We let the ball get away from us. They had a punt return. Our special teams sucked. We need to do better this week against the Chargers. The one thing I will say is our defense looked great. And our running game also looked great, but Philip Lindsay got concussion, and then the running game wasn't so great. And Patrick Mahomes didn't even need to do anything to win the game. They had to do nothing. All the defense had to do is just make turnovers, and that's what they did because of our dumb mistakes. Will we bounce back? I hope we can, and I just hope that Drew Lock will be able to do better this week rather than last week, because last week was so bad.
Obviously, improvement is necessary in a hurry before the season is lost. Quarterback Drew Lock is back from injury, but he didn't play very well in his first game back. Now, he will play against the division rival Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday. How do you think he's going to do against the Chargers?
Hopefully better than last week. That's a fact. I'm pretty sure he can do better than last week. But he just has to find the open receivers and tight ends, because the secondary of the Chargers is actually very, very good and talented. So Drew Lock needs to keep an eye on that. And he also has to not throw any picks to the secondary of the Chargers, because I know they will score a pick six against us. So Drew Lock needs to be aware of the secondary and actually throw short passes to possibly get a first down rather than long passes, risky passes to get a touchdown. So he has to keep an eye on that, and yeah, I think he can improve this week.
The running back situation is doing pretty well, but they need to step it up against a tough Charger defense. How do you think they'll do?
Well, if Philip Lindsay is out, not so well. But Philip Lindsay, he knows how to get around defenders, the defensive line, and safeties and cornerbacks. He knows how to run around those guys, and he knows where to find the holes, and he's very fast, so he knows what he's doing. Melvin Gordon, he's also pretty good, but he's slower, and he's a big body running back. He just is able to plow through the defensive ends and defensive tackles, but when it comes to running, the secondary people like the safeties and the corners are going to catch up to him very fast. So if Philip Lindsay is out, the running game is going to be decent. But if Philip Lindsay is in, I swear we're going to have a very, very talented running game, and this is going to be a competitive game for both teams.
Wide receivers Tim Patrick and Jerry Jeudy have shown flashes of breaking out this season, but not with any consistency. Can they do it against the banged-up Charger secondary?
It's going to be tough. The reason why Jerry Jeudy hasn't been targeted that often is because the secondary keeps double teaming him, and he hasn't been able to get wide open with the double teaming. They haven't really been double teaming on Tim Patrick, and it looks like he's having a breakout year this year. He so far is our number one wide receiver, and no Fant, he's going to be our second wide receiver because he can get wide open. KJ Hamler, he just has to stop dropping balls. I mean, he's good. He's better. He's getting better, but has to stop dropping balls that lead to interceptions, and he just has to make people miss to get first downs. And if these wide receivers and tight ends can get wide open, I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a very competitive game and hopefully win this game.
It's also going to help if the offensive line can stop Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram so that Drew Lock will have time to make those passes. As for the defense, the Broncos are beginning to get more pressure and sacks on opposing quarterbacks, but the pass defense is still very suspect. What can they do against the Chargers offense?
They can do a lot. They're going to put up numbers against the Justin Herbert. Our rushing defense is very, very, very good. Even without Von Miller, I'm really impressed. Bradley Chubb, Shelby Harris, Malik Reed are going to be attacking Justin Herbert from all angles, and they're going to make him feel uncomfortable. I already know that. They're looking super talented, and Bradley Chubb, he's so far kind of having a breakout year after his injury last year that he's out for the rest of the season. And Malik Reed, who's covering for Jeremiah Tachu and Von Miller, who are both out right now, he's looking good too. And Shelby Harris, he's banged down passes, and he's sacking the quarterback too a few times. So yeah, I think our defensive line and defensive tackles are going to be able to do a number on Justin Herbert.
I actually think this game is going to be a good one. So let's move on to the predictions. So looking at how the season's been going for both teams, Denver right now is being very up and down, not as consistent as they should be. I hope I'm wrong, but from what I'm seeing, that Justin Herbert is doing super well. If the Broncos can figure out how to get to him and cause him to have a bad game, then they could win. But at the moment, I'm not seeing that, so I think that the Chargers are going to win 27-20. What do you think?
So here's the thing. The Chargers are coming off a win. The Broncos are coming off a humongous loss. They're going to be pissed, and they're going to take their anger out against the Chargers. I think our defensive line is going to be super, super mad, and they're going to get after Justin Herbert a lot. And our secondary is improving, so I think we'll be able to win. Close game, 23-20. I think our defensive line will step up in our secondary, and Drew Lock will have a better game this time. Now let's move over to the Seattle Seahawks. What a barn burner of a game against the rival Arizona Cardinals Sunday night. I know the Seahawks lost the game 37-34 with 16 seconds left in overtime, but what can the team do to bounce back this week?
Well, first off, thankfully Pete Carroll's a very upbeat guy. Russell Wilson is a very optimistic guy. It will sting briefly for a day or two, but once Wednesday comes and they start practicing and getting their routine again, it's all business for this coming weekend's game, and they'll put it behind them. The thing is there's so much to clean up. Russell Wilson can't throw 3 interceptions against the 49ers this weekend and expect to win, so he's going to have to clean that up. The defense is just going to have to start playing better. Against the Cardinals, they, again, gave up way too many yards and way too many points. Again, the Cardinals are a good team, but there are many good teams out there, and eventually the defense is going to have to step up and play better. So that game's put behind us, and it's all about the 49ers on Sunday.
The division rival 49ers come to town this week, and they are playing well. What are we expecting from them this Sunday?
Well, we're going to expect them to play very hard-nosed football and very, very tough tough game. It's going to be a very, very tough game. As always, last year it came down to the last seconds in both games. Not expecting anything different. Kyle Shanahan has his team doing really well on offense right now. Jimmy Garoppolo's back, playing decently, and they're playing very well. The last couple weeks they've really beat up some good teams. The Seahawks are going to have to really be over their hangover from last weekend, and they're going to have to really put it to them this week to try and get a victory in this game.
Injuries are affecting both teams. Who does it hurt the most in this game?
Looking at the injuries, you would think it's the 49ers, but I think it's pretty even across the board. The wide receiver crew for the 49ers is deeply affected, and yet the running backs for my team are deeply affected. The secondary is deeply affected for my team, and then also the running back situation for the 49ers, but that didn't seem to bother them as much. Could be affected by them. This is going to be interesting because a lot of starters could be out in this game. The final report will come out for the injuries, and we'll see. But if I had to guess which team be affected the most, I think the Seahawks can't afford to have as many injuries as they have to go into this game. Somehow the 49ers have been able to piece together, I think, a better replacement group in their respective injured areas, better than the Seahawks have.
QB Russell Wilson is having an MVP season so far, but he threw 3 costly picks in the Cardinal game. How does he bounce back?
Well, one thing about Russell Wilson is his dedication to understanding that every play mentality, he has to erase the last play, move on to the next play. And that mentality has served him well. Whenever he has had a bad game like that, he usually comes back and has a very good game, usually. I hope that happens this weekend. But his mentality is, I will move on from this immediately and on to the next play, on to the next game, on to the next challenge. A veteran quarterback that can do that, that has a memory that doesn't allow that to affect his game, is going to have very much success. And that's what he has, and that's one thing that we're blessed to have as a Seahawks fan. And that's what's going to give him the chance to win this game, is the ability to forget things like that.
The running back situation is up in the air with all the injuries. Who starts this week and who sits?
Well, to be honest with you, I know Chris Carson really wants to start this week, even though he's hurt his foot. He's got a stress fracture in his foot. But the thing is, I'm sure that Pete Carroll knows, and so does the coaching staff and the physicians. I know that they know that Chris Carson needs to rest, so I have a feeling that he's going to get rested this week. Carlos Hyde's hamstring injury, I don't think it's very serious. So I'm expecting him to start this week, and I think Travis Homer, he may get rest as well. It's just not needed for him to come in, and so I think he's going to get rested this week. And as for DJ Dallas, the rookie, I'm sure he's excited to have this opportunity. I think he's going to get more touches than he's had all season long, and this is a chance for him to break out and have a decent game.
One bright spot is the receiving core and tight ends group. Who will make the biggest impact in this game?
Well, let's see. I know that obviously DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are going to have huge games. And then the backups like David Moore and the others. But I have a feeling the tight ends are going to have to show up as well. This game is one of those situations where I think that one of the tight ends is going to have to step up. Just because we know that the 49er defense, they're just that good when it comes to mixing things up. They're going to see the Cardinal game. They're going to see how they made adjustments to covering the receivers. They're not going to let somebody like Tyler Lockett beat them as much as the Cardinals almost did. So I have a feeling that this week somebody like a Will Dissly is going to have to step up as well. And it is very thankful that both groups, are not injured this week. They're very healthy, knock on wood. But yeah, they're going to have big games because Russell Wilson's going to look for them.
The offensive line is playing well in the run game and even pass blocking. How well do they do against the 49ers pass rush?
You know, I'm very pleased with this offensive line. Ethan Pochik has stepped up like I never thought he would at center. Obviously, Dwayne Brown at left tackle. He's Mr. Consistent, old veteran. Even with Mikey Potty out, I'm very pleased with Jordan Simmons. He's done very well. And the young guys on the right side, especially Damian Lewis, the rookie at right guard, I'm very pleased with these guys. They're doing very well. Brandon Shell at the right tackle, he's been very, very good. The penalties have been way down compared to the last couple years, and there's been a lot of time for Russell Wilson in most cases. I couldn't have asked for more. And this challenge against the 49ers, even without Solomon Thomas, Nick Bosa, D Ford, they're still coming at you with just more pass rushers, and they're still getting at the quarterback. So this is going to be a really good game up front in the trenches. So I'm really looking forward to this. And they're going to have their biggest test, one of their biggest tests of the season. I'm looking forward to it.
Now let's move on to our predictions for this game. Looking at it, it's actually going to be a very close game. I had the Seahawks barely winning 24-17. I have them winning by a touchdown. The Seahawks are going to play competitive football, and same with the 49ers. And it's going to be very close, and I think the Seahawks will barely pull it out. What do you have?
Well, so I have a prediction of 31-20. I think this is a bounce back game that Russell Wilson needs to have, and so does the team. And we really are staring 0-2 in the division in the face if we lose this game. And I think that's a sense of urgency that is healthy coming off the Cardinal loss. And I think that they're going to come out and they're going to light it up pretty good. And I think it's going to be about a 31-20 victory. I think the defense will play a good game against the run and make Garoppolo try to beat them, and he's not very good at that. So I'm thinking about a 31-20 victory. Well, that'll do it for our show today. Be sure to tell us what you think in the comments section below, and be sure to destroy that like button. Subscribe to our channel and click to the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we post a new video. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Art
and John
signing off.